Hey y'all, it's Missy again. Thanks for joining me today. I have a new layout for the cut shop, and I've pulled two cut files to use today. The happy clouds, I'm going to use a couple of those really cute clouds for my background, and then I'm going to create part of my title using some letters from the kitschy cursive font, and I love the cursive look of this font, especially when you put a word together. So I'm going to be scrapbooking this picture of me and my husband drinking some very delicious adult fruity beverages on our recent trip to St. Martin back in December. And these are papers and embellishments from Simple Stories You Are Here collection. So I did a little bit of planning before I started the video, and I went ahead and cut some of the clouds on white cardstock. Now, the background that I'm going to make today was inspired by Irit and Sue's Fish. And I told Irit yesterday that I wanted to use one of her ideas that I've seen her do recently, and that's just use acrylic paint and some gesso to create a really unique and fun, messy, mixed media type background. So I coated my white cardstock with white gesso, and I just pulled some of my blue colors of acrylic paints and some of my blue shimmer sprays, and this is just a brand new brush. Actually, it's a wide flat type brush, and I'm just going for it. I didn't really know what I was going to do here. I just started painting on the background, and I'm going to go with this darker blue first, and then I'm going to come in with a baby wipe and just kind of brush some of it off and do a little bit of smudging. And I really love how that looks. That is just a wet baby wipe, and you know, acrylic paint is pretty thick and it's pretty permanent, so it's not going to blend, you know, like a gelato or a watercolor. It's very thick, and once it goes on, it's not going to smudge very easily. But if you use a baby wipe right away, you can see what that did to that there, and I think that's a really neat look. So I'm just going to keep painting here, and this is an experiment. At this point, I wasn't sure if I was going to keep this or chunk it, but I thought, let's just play around and see what I come up with. And I love the different shades of blue here, and I'm so used to using watercolors, and you know, they blend so easily, but this is just a totally different ball game here. Acrylics are not the same at all. And that's the beauty of doing mixed media type layouts, is you can experiment and try different mediums, different types of paints, and you're going to get a totally different look. So I'm going to come in with some shimmers, and again, I'm just experimenting here. I thought, we'll add some of this now. And this is, you know, my favorite color, Jenny B Blue, and that's a Vibes. And look at this happened. I had no idea this was going to happen. I just sprinkled that on there, and look what it did to the acrylic paint. It's like it bleached it, and now I have these little white spots. I didn't know it was going to do that. I thought that looked pretty neat, so I did it some more. And these are just a couple of different blues from shimmers. I've got some colorings. I've got the Vibes. I've got a couple of spritz and some lighter blue colors. And I'm just kind of adding it in and smudging it down, painting it down. Some of the spots will stay and some of them will get blended. And this is a color that Irit has been talking about lately. It's a spritz, and it's called Blue Jeans. It's a very light, almost purpley blue color, as you can see there. It's a whole different shade of blue. Oh, Blue Jeans is a Vibes, not a spritz. I had that wrong. There's so many colors, sometimes I just say the wrong name. Okay, so I decided to finish the square here, and I went with the lighter blue, and I wanted to try to create sort of an ombre effect at this point, starting with a lighter blue in the upper left side and then shading down to the darker as you get to the right. And so far this is working good. I kind of like the way this looks. I'm adding a little bit of water just to help with the spreading process. And I'm kind of thinking that this background is going to be sort of like a sky, since my picture is of us at the beach and there's some blue sky in the background and lots of palm trees. I wanted this to be kind of tropical and beachy without being sunny, if that makes sense. Usually when I make pool pages or beach pages, I always feel like I have to have some kind of bright yellow in the mix to kind of represent the sun. But this one, since we're kind of in the shade, I wanted it to be focused mostly on the blue sky and the clouds and the palm tree type effect. So I like how that looks. It's messy, it's splotchy, it's streaky, yet it still fades from light to dark. And I love how the cut files look on top of it, because it definitely looks like a sky, and I think that looks pretty cool. So I play around with the clouds, and I also use some of the center parts that were cut out, especially the swirl clouds, because look at that little cutout of the smaller one there. I think that looks really, really, really neat. So I just play around and get them where I want them, and then I'm just going to lightly stick them down in case I want to reposition them later, because I'm going to have everything tilted to the diagonal. Now there is going to be some pink in the mix because our drinks are pink, and there is some really pretty pink elements to this collection. And we were in St. Martin, and we were at a beach called Maho Bay. I don't know if you've ever been there, but that is the beach that is right by the airport in St. Martin. And it is the neatest experience to sit and watch airplanes fly in over the ocean and land, because the landing strip is right here, then there's a road, and then there's the beach. And so when the planes come at you, when you're on the beach, they literally feel like they're going to land on your head, and they come right over you and they land right behind you. And it is the neatest experience, especially when the big ones come in. There's a restaurant and bar type thing there, and they list the plane's schedules every day, so you can know exactly what time each plane is going to land, and then you can also watch them take off. It's just a really neat thing to see. And I haven't scrapped any pictures of the planes yet, but I remember posting some on Instagram back when we were there, and it was a really neat experience. So those photos will eventually get scrapped. But this one is all about the guava berry colada. If you go to St. Martin, you must try the guava berry colada. It is so delicious. So yeah, we had to celebrate with a selfie. Anyway, I'm not doing anything out of the ordinary here. I added a couple of more layers. I added some of my pink thread. I've got that little flamingo over there on the left. And now I'm going to add in a couple strips of the paper washi tape. And this is all Simple Stories, all from the same collection. It's a really, really fun collection for these type of photos. It really is. But you also can use it for other travel photos. It's not necessarily just for the beach. There's plenty of elements in there for other travels. But we tend to like tropical places, and we've been to lots of different Caribbean islands and places like that. So I've got lots of these type of pictures. So I definitely have to use that palm tree because we have some palm trees behind us there. And I definitely want to use this little sticker of this drink. And I'm going to be doing a lot of little embellishments here and there. I want to bring in some more flowers. And this little circle that says relax, because that's what we were doing. And I love these clear stickers. The white ones look especially neat on a dark background like I have here. And so I use that one little sticker that says this is paradise. And then this little arrow sticker says you are here. So I don't know if you've checked out the cut shop lately, but every other week Ashley is adding in new cut files, and they are always also versatile. You know, they get lots of uses for lots of different ideas. Just because one cut file set looks themed does not mean you can't use it on something totally different. You know, you can enlarge cut files, you can shrink them down, you can use pieces of them. So many ideas you should always check out the blog, the Cut Shop blog, if you are, you know, new to using cut files, or you've just gotten a Cameo or some kind of die cutting machine, because there are so many different ideas and so many ways to use all these cut files. So this is the alphabet that I showed you at the beginning, the kitschy cursive. I created the word cheers and welded it together. And my title is going to be Cheers from Paradise. Now, if you're a Thickers fan, then you probably remember these from literally years ago. I don't even remember how many years old these Thickers are, but they are pink, and I love the font, and they matched the pink in this collection perfectly. And so I thought, okay, we're going to do some thicker stash busting here. I just don't have it in my heart to throw away Thickers, no matter how old they get, and no matter how much they lose their stickiness, because they're Thickers. You know, we love Thickers, and so I thought, hey, I'm going to use these. They're perfect. So that's my title. And the from word is some of these Studio Calico wood veneer tiny alphas. And I did add a couple of other wood veneer from the Simple Stories collection. I've got 2 little flowers, and then I added the airplane up at the top in that little cloud. And I do wind up stitching through the word paradise just to make sure that they stay down, even though I did glue them. And I added a couple more white stickers up in the clouds, and I did a couple of straight stitches through the 2 bottom straight, the clouds that have a straight bottom. I did some pink stitching through those. And I'm going to come in with some lines. I'm going to add my journaling, and I think that's going to wrap it up. I had a really fun time making this. When in doubt, just grab some paint and create your own background. You never know what you may come up with. Just play around with it and incorporate your cut files into it, and you never know, you just may love it. So there's my final page. Let me know if you have any questions or about anything that I used, or any of the cut files, or anything. I'd be happy to answer. This was really fun to put together. It's fun to get messy, and it was fun to pull out some old Thickers. Oh my goodness, I wish I knew how old those were. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. I have another video coming up soon, and I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.